There's a park in Ohio that you've possibly heard of thanks to its excellent coaster collection. But you may not know the role its location played in one of America's bloodiest conflicts, the role it had in a large organization deciding one of its new focuses, or how it helped change one of America's most popular sports. We'll take a look at these and more on this episode of Coasting with Cultures, Cultural Connections. Cedar Point, located in Sandusky, Ohio, has long been one of the most popular summer destinations in the state. For multiple decades, it's been a premier venue for roller coaster thrills in the United States. From record breakers like Millennium Force or Top Thrill Dragster, to one of the most popular coasters on the planet in Steel Vengeance. You're even greeted by one of these scream machines as you pass underneath Gatekeeper at the turnstiles up front, further emphasizing the park's claim to being America's roller coaster. People have been flocking to the peninsula on Lake Erie for years, but there was a time where it was utilized to keep people where they were through means besides offering a large selection of rides. While 1870 was the first year that visitors took a ferry over to the peninsula for recreation, not even 10 years prior, the tip of the peninsula had artillery guns aiming outward. This wasn't because the United States were waiting a potential invasion from Canada. Rather, they were guarding the entrance to Sandusky Bay. Within Sandusky Bay was nearby Johnson's Island, which was used as a prison for around 2,500 Confederate officers captured during the Civil War. The gun battery was built in 1862, and at that same time, a new lighthouse was built. The battery and lighthouse were located where Lighthouse Point, Cedar Point's cabin resort, can be found today. When the war ended, the battery eventually disappeared, but the lighthouse remained, continuing to help ships traverse Lake Erie. Today, you can still see this historic lighthouse and signage about the former battery at Lighthouse Point. While Cedar Point is better known for their excellent coaster selection, it also has a decent collection of entries to the National Register of Historic Places. There were several structures from the late 1800s to early 1900s that are still standing today. The first to make the register in 1982 was the Coliseum building, built in 1906 and sitting along the main midway, serving as a venue for dances and performances in its ballroom, especially during the Great Depression. The aforementioned lighthouse of 1862 was added in 1984. All three of the park's carousels are listed as well. The first to make the register was the Midway Carousel, which was built in 1912 and brought to the park in 1946, joining the register in 1982. The Cedar Downs Racing Derby and Kitty Kingdom carousels were both added in 1990. Cedar Downs is one of the only two remaining racing carousels in the United States, originally opening at Euclid Beach Park in 1921 and relocated to Cedar Point for the 1967 season. The Kitty Kingdom Carousel, a 1924 Denzel carousel, came to the point the following season in 1968. There was a fourth carousel that operated at the park's frontier town that was also in the register, but is now found at the midway of Cedar Point's sister park, Dorney Park. The Hotel Breakers, the resort's flagship hotel that opened in 1905, was part of the register in 1987, but was removed in 2001 after extensive renovations were made to it in 1998. In 1925, Cedar Point played host to the Lions Club International Convention. The Lions Club was created as a service organization to help in bettering local communities of the club's various chapters. When the convention came to Sandusky, the club was experiencing fast growth in membership and were exploring possible service opportunities. At this convention, a well-known activist took to the stage to garner support of the Lions Club helping those who suffered from blindness. That activist was none other than Helen Keller. The acoustics of the convention hall weren't the best, but those in attendance sat quietly and listened carefully as Keller spoke of the opportunity for the Lions Club to help make the lives of those who had lost their ability to see worth living, challenging them to become Knights of the Blind. Her words ultimately inspired the Lions Club to emphasize helping the blind through various programs, including those that help people avoid preventable blindness. From the first season in 1870 to present day, many thousands of people have worked at the amusement park and resort, including myself back in 2004 and 2005 as a ride host. But two resort employees had a significant influence in a popular American sport. During the summer of 1913, Newt Rockne and Gus Durai, teammates from the University of Notre Dame's football team, worked at the resort as lifeguards. During their time at the resort that summer, they worked on a fairly new concept in football at the time, the forward pass. Early American football didn't include the forward pass, and players often got into large clutters, causing more injuries. In an effort to help players spread out, the forward pass became a legal play. Although most early forward passing was typically done with a shuffle pass or short pitch to a stationary receiver. Gus and Newt used Cedar Point's beach to work on the technique of a stronger overhead throw and the receiver catching the ball on the run. The teammates put this into action during the following season, leading to an upset victory over Army, thanks in large part to this new style of offense. Rockne would help popularize the forward pass as he became a successful coach at Notre Dame with 3 national championships. Today, some of the biggest names in football are the quarterbacks who are known for their passing game. And in a way, their opportunity to have the success they've had stems back to 2 lifeguards throwing a ball on Cedar Point's shores. The sport of football continues to be quite popular on several levels, from youth leagues to the National Football League. Cedar Point's state of Ohio has some great influences on the sport, from being home to the Football Hall of Fame in Canton and one of the most prolific college football programs at Ohio State. Some of those who've played for Ohio State attended and played football at Sandusky High School, located less than 5 miles away from the popular amusement park. This school has one of Ohio's more successful high school football teams, with over 600 victories. While the team's success may not be directly related to the amusement park, the school's athletic program did influence the park's choice for the name of a classic ride, when in 1964 they opened the Blue Streak, a classic John Allen out-and-back wooden coaster named after the local high school sports nickname, the Sandusky High Blue Streaks. Today, the Blue Streak is the park's oldest operating roller coaster, and is hard to miss if you take a drive around the peninsula's perimeter road. What are some other rides and coasters you've ridden where the name had a local influence or inspiration? Share your experiences in the comment section below, along with any other cultural connections that you may know of for Cedar Point. Thank you for watching this Coasting with Culture video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button below to see future videos here on YouTube, like these ones which you may enjoy as well. Additional content can be found at coastingwithculture.com, and you can also follow Coasting with Culture on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for announcements, previews, and updates. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, take care and safe travels.